and the special guest host, Attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question, our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with Attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome with me.
Hey, Daryl, what's going on, man?
Man, another day in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
you know, that holiday was a nice little holiday, man.
Yes, sir.
Good break.
Always.
You know, look, we're going to bring back, so today is our second iteration of Bankruptcy Matters. We spent a lot of time, you know, getting you introed into it.
Yes.
And because of the time of the year, we really need to make sure that we stay on track with this.
No question.
So let's give our shout outs to California, shout outs to Little Rock, Arkansas, shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas, shout outs to Memphis, Shelby County, shout outs to Mississippi, shout out to the great state of Missouri, shout out to Adrian, shout out to Gwendolyn.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
She's going to be excited you called her name correctly, man. Thank you, brother.
You know, if you have Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, or the SVP network app, you can call in and, you know, we whatever we're talking about, we will stop and answer any of those questions. So, you know, feel free to call in. I don't know why nobody don't ever take us up on that.
I just can't understand it. But maybe after tonight's show, it's going to be so relevant that we're going to drop it in their laps so much so until they'll be calling.
So, Jerome, we ended the last segment. We were talking about bankruptcy. You know, we started chapter 13, chapter 7, chapter 11, chapter 12. You know, we talked about, but all we talked about so far was some of the initial portion of chapter 13.
Yes, there. So last week we started talking about bankruptcy, but I want to tighten the focus tonight. I don't want people to hear the word bankruptcy and immediately think failure, shame, defeat. Tonight I want us to think about bankruptcy as one tool in a financial tool belt. When something breaks in your home, you don't use the same tool for every repair. You may need a flashlight to see the problem. You may need a measuring tape to know what you are dealing with, and you may need a hammer, a wrench, or a shield, or a blueprint. Well, our financial lives are the same way. Some families are dealing with wage garnishments, some are dealing with repossessions, some are behind on their mortgage, some of them being sued, some of them are drowning in medical bills, credit cards, taxes are owed debt, and too many of our people are suffering because in silence there because they don't know what tools are available. So tonight we're going to be beginning with this idea. Bankruptcy is not the only tool and it's not always the first tool, but when used properly it can be a powerful tool to protect families, preserve homes, stop financial bleeding, and create room to rebuild.
No, I like that, Jerome. You know, and it's funny the way you said that. You know, and I think we should be looking at it a little different. You said, you know, the word bankruptcy is harsh, but really, it's analogous to fresh start.
No question.
And then, so it should be exhilarating when you have an opportunity to refresh your financial situation.
Dale, it's just like taking 2 of these and waking up in the morning and feeling good about yourself. Because it's refreshing to know that I don't have to continue to suffer on this oppressive bills. Most people when they have these issues, it's like these problems are running rent-free in their minds. And so tonight we hope to dispel some of that. Bankruptcy should never, ever cause the fear and trembling that it caused a lot of people to have. So tonight, let's start looking at like a flashlight. The flashlight lets us see the truth. The measuring tape helps us to know your numbers. The level determines whether your budget is balanced. The shield, which is the most important thing in bankruptcy, because when the creditor thinks that they have the upper hand, that they can force you in the corner, that they can call you anytime of night.
Talk crazy
Yeah,
to you.
I mean, just absolutely hang up the phone
And call right back.
Right.
Yeah, call right back and be talking big trash.
And you will do this, and then they talk about, well, I tell you what, if your friends and relatives knew that you were a bum, you know, some of people go to that point there. But when you put that shield on them, that means that stops it all. And the wrench adjusts the payment problems. The broom, it clears away debts that cannot be carried forward. And the blueprint is we rebuild with a plan.
Yeah, I like that, Jerome. You know, anytime you can give an analogy for people that they can actually, you know, latch onto, I think that that's a good thing. You know, one of the things that we always need to understand, and you hit this early on, you know, bankruptcy is a two-part. And what I mean by that is this: it's a tool that you have in your tool belt, without a doubt, and it's not the only tool.
That's right.
Again, so it could be the end, or it could be the beginning.
I like that.
You know,
Yeah.
so what you have to do is figure out, you know, okay, we used to joke and we still talk about it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
That's right.
Well, if you have poor spending habits, because that's what bankruptcy is really put in place to do. When you have a scenario when you made some serious mistakes or things in your life went awry, you know, what bankruptcy does is say, let me help you get a plan. Let's put that plan in place. Let's work the plan. And then we shouldn't have to worry about this later on.
I like that, Daryl, because bankruptcy sometimes involves several different tools used at once. It can shine the light on the problem. It can shield the family from collection pressure, adjust payments, clear out certain debts, and create a blueprint for a fresh start. I just had a young lady today, and you know, and young people are so cute there, you know, they think that they know a lot.
Yeah. That's true.
But in reality, they are just green. They, you know, and that's where we come in at to help them guide them into a safer pathway. So she was allowing this company to garnish her check, thinking that there's nothing I can do. I'm getting my paycheck garnished, but I don't know what to do. So I just have to bear it. Audience, you do not have to grin and bear someone taking money from your home and putting it in someone else's home. What do you say? So one of the things that we have to also understand too, with this debt cycle, is to understand what are the warning signs that you need to pay attention to what's going on. You know, we talk about it all the time, Derek, too. Never, ever ignore mail that comes to your home. Don't leave it at your mama's house. How many people do you know there, young people, they still got their address at their mama's house?
A whole lot. So, Jerome, got a question.
Sure.
Question came in.
Okay.
So, person says, you know, in the past, they basically, they bought a house.
Okay.
They bought that house about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And, you know, and the market was decent, I guess, at that particular time. But the house started becoming a financial detriment because the property taxes started going up.
Oh.
And as a result of it, the mortgage payment became to a point where it became unbearable. Now, it sounds to me that he has a flexible or an adjustable rate mortgage for some things to happen like that, but I may be wrong on that. But what he said is that he's fell behind on his payments. He's currently in forbearance. Should he file bankruptcy or should he sell the house?
Okay, Daryl, that is a phenomenon that's happening all over the city of Memphis and probably Shelby County, because this, you know, Shelby County is probably unique in that their assessments only happen, every 4 years? Property assessments.
It's a property valuation.
Yeah.
Assessments is every 6 months, you know.
Well, I'm talking about the assessor, when the assessor goes down.
Yeah.
It's like every 4 years.
Yeah, that's an evaluation. I can't remember what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what has happened this past time around, many people's properties almost doubled in value because it was so long before the appraiser came. So now they are being faced with increased tax payments, and also the insurance is going up.
You can sell it for the damn amount they doubled it to.
But you can't sell it because it's really not worth it.
It's not worth that.
It's like fool's gold. You know, we talked about when we were kids in school, and when they talked about all the people who were going to California for the gold rush, when they saw the sparkling yellow stuff in the mountains. Well, that's what's happening now with these people. And another thing too, their credit is so bad that they cannot get home loans. They can't get HELOCs.
Yeah.
So they are basically
refinancing. Or,
basically they're trapped with house rich and cash poor. You know, we talked about it before. And so I believe what that person should do, I like the fact that they're in a forbearance, which means that they don't have to pay a mortgage for a while. They should be stacking some cash somehow, because when the forbearance is over, that means that they're going to have to start making those mortgage payments.
Well, Jerome, again, I'm not that guy, and you know, I'm always going to defer to you when we start talking about bankruptcy. I think the caller should consider. I really think the caller should consider talking to a bankruptcy lawyer, and here's the reason why I say that. He's at a scenario where. Even if he comes out of forbearance and he's stacked cash, at some point the payment amount and what he has are going to be a disconnect.
I agree with you on that, but also too, whenever you can get a free ride with not paying a mortgage, that's a benefit.
But it's not a free ride.
It is a free ride because you don't have to pay the mortgage, and then when it's time to start paying the mortgage, you can spread it out over 60 months. Or you see what I'm
but that's if they're in a plan.
Well, because you've already said that they're going to go visit the bankruptcy lawyer.
I'm saying they should.
Not just too soon.
See, here's the reason why I have that as an issue. And again, Jerome is that guy, you know, and yeah, obviously you're putting together money and you stacking cash.
Yes.
But the problem with even stacking cash, when you file bankruptcy, you have to put the bankruptcy court on notice of this cash that you have stacked.
Well, you do, but if it's going toward a mortgage, if it's going toward a secured debt, that's money that can be paid in to go toward that debt.
It can.
See, and the other thing too, there, people make that mistake, and that is a mistake, that they will go into their 401k and pull down cash in order to try to catch them a mortgage, or they'll go to First Fraud Main, something like that, and borrow a lump sum of money where the interest rate is 20-30%, and put that in to try to save the home. But if you would just use the money yourself and not pay the mortgage, you will be borrowing money from yourself where you get a chance to pay it back with no interest at all.
Yeah. And I understand the thought process, Jerome. Again, I get it. And, you know, so Jerome's thought process, and I'm not saying I disagree with it. Jerome's thought process is basically what you do is while you're in forbearance, just save your money.
Yes.
As soon as you get them out of forbearance, then you need to start talking about this bankruptcy.
Yes.
The only problem that I have is twofold. Number one, if in fact he's in an adjustable mortgage,
Oh, and that's different.
an adjustable rate mortgage, you know, then what he could do is by going into bankruptcy, Chapter 13, he can actually equalize or correct his mortgage. Okay. The other part of that I have a concern with is that when you don't pay, a forbearance is not what people think it is. It stops you from paying right now, and you hit it early and you don't realize you hit it. It's fool's gold because it stops you from paying right now, but it keeps on increasing your interest and keeps on keeping your debt together for this longer period of time, and it's going to be at a higher rate.
Well, I don't know about the interest part. I do know that the mortgage payment will continue to grow,
Yeah, absolutely.
but you can pay it back over 60 months.
Yeah, but I'm paying back, and that's what I'm saying. I'm paying
$100 a month for $60,000 that you were able to
you. That's this, you know.
accumulate. You follow me?
Yeah, you're not gonna, you know. Okay, if you can accumulate $60,000
By not paying the mortgage.
by not paying the mortgage,
Right.
you shouldn't be in problems in the first place.
Well, you did that because you were uneducated, but now that we're educating you, now you know how to put the money away and wait for the time to
he
start.
doesn't know how to put it away.
He didn't know initially,
This issue, you're
but now he
suggesting-
does because of this show tonight. That's what we're doing. We're,
I
we're
like that.
educating
Yeah,
them now
yeah,
on
okay.
how to prepare for the disaster.
Yeah.
You know that the warning was there. You ignored it. You knew that you were getting further and further in trouble. You ignored it. But now that it's come home, the roost has, the chicken has come home to roost, you know, going forward, I need to have a plan, and my plan is to stack away some reserves.
Yeah, here's the problem, Jerome. The forbearance, the problem that I have with it is
But someone would say there, you know, we did a bunch of forbearances during
the
COVID.
COVID. Oh, no doubt.
During COVID.
Yeah.
You could get almost a year. You can
Oh,
get,
yeah.
You get
Oh, yeah.
6 months just by asking for it, and then you could turn around and just get another 6 months.
Oh, COVID was helpful and harmful at the same time now. But the thing about it is, and you're right, Jerome, the problem, and that's why I call it fool's gold. Here's what people have a tendency to do, where, you know, if bad habits don't get better. They only get better with practice. And I'm talking about practicing things that help correct those bad habits. If you are a free spender or you have poor money management, you know, then stacking cash is not going to help you, because as soon as you get a couple dollars, you're going to spend it.
Most people will.
Yeah.
And so remember, it's kind of like at the church when we talk about if you could just bring one sinner into the church, then heaven is excited about it. So if we can change the behavior of one of our audience members, then we had a successful show.
No, I like that.
Now everybody is not going to adjust.
Right.
And so and that's why bankruptcy is such that you don't have to just have one shot at a bankruptcy. You can actually file again
Yeah.
and again.
Right.
It's a little more difficult, but we understand the first time around. We had a song when I was growing up, the second time around. So maybe by that time you would have adjusted your spending habits to know that I don't have a whole lot of time to try to get this right, and so I must do better. And that's what we hope would happen.
Yeah, I like that, Jerome. And I think, you know.
I'm always the eternal optimist in a way.
Well, and you are. You really are. And it's not that I'm anti, or was it pessimistic?
Right.
It's not that I'm anti or pessimistic or something of that nature. Here's what I am. I like to think that
You're
I'm
a realist. You're just a realist.
I like to think that I'm a realist.
Right.
And, you know, my whole thought process comes to, you know, a real approach or a real thought process, not, you know, I can play music, I can, you know, do a bunch of different things, but I'm not, I don't have a vision.
I got you.
You know, I'm an imitator. You play a beat on the drums, I can play it.
I got
You know, you know, hum a song, I can mimic it. You know, I don't have any originality, you know. And so the point of that is, those people that have the ability to see more, right? Then they have a possibility to possibly do more.
I see where you're going. Go ahead.
You know, so that's where
I see where you're going. Go ahead and develop it.
Yeah. But that's where
Well, go ahead and develop it a little bit. Okay, so I hear what you're saying. I hear that this person has had this particular behavior
Right.
for some time.
Right.
Okay, but what I see is that it's kind of like, to me, it's like a kid in school who finally gets to the right teacher. You know, we talked about that, right?
Right. No, I get that.
How a child can have no ambition at all about school. In fact,
I was that child, so I ain't mad at you. I mean, I'm that guy. So
in fact, really don't want to be.
Oh man, I ain't trying to be here. You know.
But that right teacher comes along, and all of a sudden they get the fire in the belly. I believe that shows like tonight's show is going to also instill some good practices and behaviors on our audience, so much so until they're going to change their behavior.
Right.
Because the benefit of it is you won't be homeless.
That's a hell of a benefit. And again, the one thing that I don't like, you know, and I'm just digressing here. The one thing I didn't like that the caller was thinking about was selling their home.
Okay.
And the reason why I don't like that, a home is a substantial asset. I mean, and you have to be able to figure out how to benefit yourself as a result of this asset that you have.
There, you said something very, very important, because, you know, I talk about it all the time. The one thing that an African American family may have that will be to create generational wealth is the transfer of a home.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right. So everything that you can possibly do to hold on to that property is beneficial. Because I see on TV almost every single day somebody is on there talking about buying your property.
Buy your property. I buy your property as is.
That's right.
You know,
no fixing it up.
You know.
Shouldn't that tell you a lot?
And that's the thing. Okay, you know, and you think about it. You know, everybody has to live somewhere.
That's right.
And if you
ain't don't live nowhere free,
you can't live anywhere free.
That's right.
And so, you know, just say hypothetically, you had a house and your mortgage is $1,200 a month. You know, that's well, at one point that was about $180,000 house.
Okay.
Now it may be a little less, you know, because of, you know, all the interest rates and all that other stuff. But you get a house, you get a yard, you get bathrooms, bedrooms, ownership, and then you give it away and go move in an apartment and spend the same amount of money and own nothing, have nothing to show for it.
That's exactly right.
And you've just given everything away.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And not only that, Daryl, but after spending all of this money, like you say, you walk away with nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't control anything.
Yeah.
You can't even control access to it.
Yeah.
Because the landlord can give you a notice.
Say you up out of here. And look, and you hit it on the head, the stacking the cash. And if you were able to stack cash, right, then what you could do is when the forbearance comes out, then what you could do is go back to paying your mortgage. You know, try to get them to put everything that you owe on the back end.
That's exactly right.
And then when you're paying your mortgage, instead of paying, because you've stacked cash.
That's right.
So what you want to do is add an extra half a month onto your principal.
Absolutely.
And
correct.
then so a 30-year mortgage is now a 15-year mortgage.
Absolutely correct.
I mean, so it's just little bitty things that help you, you know, get to that next level.
That's exactly right, Daryl. And so, but remember, and also one thing that I kind of fault our school system for, a couple of things. Number one is that there's no kind of financial education going on in the school system other than math, arithmetic, and algebra. But we need to know how to get along in this world. We need to know children. In fact, I think when Obama was in office, they kind of cut out all of these credit card offerings at these colleges. You know, when you first start college, they have all these little booths open up. All you have to do is sign your name, and you got 4 or 5 credit cards walking out the door. And the next thing you know, they are in default, and then somebody got a judgment against you, ruin your credit, and then they start garnishing your check when you get your first job.
I'm telling you.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me just tell you this, man, and you know, and I'm digressing. Most people, and you made me go there. College is a debt magnet, and what I mean by that is, you go to college, and you know this before you go to law school.
Yeah.
They got bar cash, law cash, fast cash. I mean, you could end up, and they used to say, if you live like a lawyer while you're in law school, you're gonna live like a student when you graduate. You know, because what end up happening is they'll throwing money at you.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Because they know at some point you're gonna have a job that you're gonna be able to pay it back, so they're gonna take it.
That's exactly right.
You know, and so that student loan becomes, you know, monumental. You know,
that's exactly right.
So yeah, always be careful of free offers of credit cards.
No question about it.
Offers of, you know, extra money, you know, unless you got a plan for it.
You know, and also too, there, a couple of things too. You know, so we're somewhat digressing, but it also is all financial. Be careful too when you receive one of these checks in the house. All you have to do is just sign and deposit. That's a trap as well.
Oh, it's illegal too, because a lot of times
it's illegal.
It's absolutely illegal. And you know, there's a lot of people that got in trouble over that.
Oh yeah.
Where these companies will send them a check, then they'll go to Pookie's liquor store, and you know, Pookie won't get all the right paperwork and cash that check.
Right.
And then when they find out that the check was fraudulent or inappropriate, then they come
back after you. Exactly, you know? Right.
Yeah.
And you know, and so there. So some of the warning signs of a problem is you are being sued.
Right.
Your wages are being garnished. Your car is in danger of repossession. Your house in foreclosure. You're borrowing money to pay old debts. That's a good way to lose a bunch of friends too. Family members don't want to see you coming because you always borrow.
Oh, no, not borrow, not bargain, not borrow. Always begging.
Begging, right?
This smug right here.
That could tear a family.
Can't even say his money. He just want $1.
That would tear a family apart.
Yeah.
So you're avoiding the mail. You're paying one creditor, you're paying Peter, but you don't pay Paul. You're using payday loans, high interest loans to survive.
Title company.
And you're current only because you are exhausting your family's help. When they see you coming, they close the door because they know you're gonna come in begging. So a financial problem ignored can become a legal emergency.
Yeah,
there.
no, man, woo, I agree with that 110%, man. I mean, you know, and Jerome, you said some of those real simple things. You know, if you know you're getting all these phone calls, you're being sued, they're garnishing your check. Any one of those would be enough to throw you in a
absolutely.
You're being sued, or you got a judgment against you that you can't afford to pay.
Absolutely.
You know, and so now you got to figure out what's your next step.
And so people want to know, would I lose everything if I file bankruptcy? The answer is no, you will not. Is bankruptcy just running from your bills? No, bankruptcy is a part of the law. So
that's Trump. Because Trump said it. I mean, that's what he said. Yeah, I filed bankruptcy a number of times.
So if you allow me to have another show, I want to give the audience some homework. I want you to do one thing, audience. I want you to gather your papers. I don't want you to guess. I don't want you to rely on your memory, but I want you to gather your bills, lawsuits, garnishment papers, foreclosures notices, repossession letters, mortgage statements, car notes, pay stubs, tax notices, collection letters, and bank statements, and give us a call.
Woo! All right, y'all. Well, and look, not only give a call, but you need to determine, they got these little apps and they always talking about it, this Rocket Mortgage. You don't know how many apps that you're paying for.
That's right.
You don't know what your monthly expenses are, and you don't know what your monthly intake is. So you don't know whether or not those two go together.
That's exactly right.
And so what Jerome asked you to do will help you set that up, even if you decide to call a lawyer. Thank you for watching our show. We are going to have another segment on bankruptcy because we hadn't finished, totally finished. And we'll see you back next week.